just
my
tell
pleasure.
me,
Thank you so much.
yeah, so tell me, Deepti, how do you want, I'm just going to hand it over to you to do as you please, as you just lead the session, answering
All
questions,
your
whatever it
ways.
is, you know? So
So
just,
you can just go
I'll
ahead.
just hand it over to you completely.
Perfect. Not a problem.
I'll introduce you, and then you can just go ahead with your journey. Like, it's just completely up to you, you know, go with the session. So we'll just like, let's wait another 5-7 minutes, and then we'll just have everyone come and
Sure.
join us
Sure.
as we just move forward with the call. You're based in Delhi, Deepti?
Yeah, I'm based in Noida.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And no, it's so wonderful. I've been using the products and I absolutely love them.
Thank you so
Because we
much.
must introduce all of our yogis to your products and everything. So I thought it'd be pretty cool, you know?
Yeah, so gradually it happened. I mean, we did not think of joining the entire concept with the yogic way of life, but gradually we realized that the kind of stuff that we are doing, most probably it's, you know, the yogi people will be able to relate to it in a much more better way than
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. People who are in like Ayurveda and like holistic living, you automatically start moving towards like just a more holistic way of life. So
exactly,
yeah, that would be, yeah.
But I strongly feel India still needs to mature in terms of realizing the importance of natural. So when I say natural in a holistic sense, not in the form of just one product, and the entire lifestyle has a lot of other negative things. So it has to be a holistic approach, which is where I believe we lack a lot.
Yeah, I think it's not a very mature market as of now, you know? 1 second.
So just let me know when are we supposed to start, and then I'll accordingly go.
Sure, sure. Yeah, we're already recording actually. Okay. But I'm just gonna give everyone a few minutes to just get themselves sorted out and enter. And okay, perfect. So let's you know, I know a bunch of people have already joined us, a few of our members, let's just keep on coming. But everyone, if you guys want to turn your cameras on, it's always wonderful to have more cameras on than off, just because, you know, you feel connected. But before I begin, I just want to thank Deepti for coming. You know, I discovered Deepti's products during our yoga fun when we were looking for similar minded people to come join us on board. And I really wanted to bring on brands that were conscious and ethical and had similar values. And we came across Deepti, and she's a perfect yogapreneur, right? She's a yoga teacher, she's a nutritionist, and she studied Ayurveda, and then she brought all of this into her passion for actually setting up some amazing skincare products. Now, I'm always skeptical about skincare products, you know, because there's so much stuff out there in the market. You never really know what's good, what's bad. So I actually began using some Svarasya products, and there was, I would say within the first few days of using their stuff, I could see a distinct difference. And actually, I know the 1000 wash cream is sort of your signature product, but what I really, really loved was your, like, it was a face wash made from a Japanese, like an ancient Japanese recipe. And I thought it was very similar to Upton actually, you know? So I was like, wow, Upton is also being used here in Japan. So Svarasya is not only looking at Ayurveda, it's also looking at other traditions. You know, it's looking at Japanese and other Egyptian and Indian traditions to sort of at skincare. And I think I'd love to know from Deepti, there's been a lot of research into ancient skincare rituals about what some of the ancient skincare secrets actually are, you know, and what are some of the, now with like sort of dermatology going through the roof, glycolic acid and all sorts of stuff, is it possible to achieve these same results using ancient skincare? It's not possible, you know? So just some of these are the first couple of questions that come to mind. And I'm just going to leave it onto Deepti to talk about Deepti, I'm going to hand it over to you completely talking about your journey, how you started, some of the rituals that you think are your favorite that every woman needs to know, and how this complements an Ayurvedic lifestyle. And then we can open it up to questions. You know, we're already recording, so you know, we're just getting going as people keep on joining us.
Sure. Thank you so much, Ira. Thank you for a lovely introduction.
This is completely over to you now, Deepti. Thank you.
Thank you, Ira, and thank you so much for a very lovely introduction. So I'm sure there's a lot to grasp in the entire session. I would, for the attendees, I would highly recommend you can just have your pen and papers ready, because I'm sure you'll be having a lot of notes to make out of whatever we discussed today. So let me just start with my introduction. I am
Deepti, one more thing. Sorry, Deepti, one more thing. Sorry to interrupt you, but I've also made you host now, so you have host control.
Sure.
So, you know, we're all here. Aditya's here, I'm here, but you know, you're welcome to unmute people if they raise their hands, or if you just want to do this over chat, whatever you prefer. Some people want to hear the questions, some people like to see them in chat. So just whatever you're most comfortable in. Now the session is yours. So again, everyone, it's really exciting to have Deepti, and you know, as someone who's used her products ourselves, in fact, we loved her products so much that we put them on our store, on our yoga store, on our website. So after the session, if you guys feel compelled to, I really encourage you to check out her products. They're very well priced. They're extremely genuine. And I think one of the biggest concerns that I have is ingredients that some of these brands use. You know, even some of the best brands, I'm like, where are they getting their ingredients from? But I know that your products ingredients are also very specially sourced. So love to hear about all of these rituals. So thank you. Over to you now.
Thank you so much. Sure. So, okay. So let me just give my introduction first. I am the founder of Svarasya, and we are primarily based on the idea of traditional self-care. So I would not call Svarasya as only a skincare brand, but a self-care brand. So we really want to create an awareness how skincare is not just about one product miracle, or the peels, or going to a derma clinic, or going to a salons. It's more about you as a whole rather than using some specific products. About me, I come from a background where I've studied 3 oldest ancient cultures. I am primarily a macrobiotic nutritionist, also an alkaline diet coach, of course a wellness coach as well, but my primary interest lies into researching the ancient and trying to figure out what was it that made these ancient philosophies so ageless. So I'm educated into traditional Chinese medicine, I'm educated into yoga and Ayurveda I'm studying as of now. So the whole idea was to understand the concepts of these ancient sciences, and just an awareness for you all people. The more I got into it, the more I realized that all 3 different ancient cultures, traditional Chinese medicine happened in Japan and China, Ayurveda happened in India, yoga of course happened in India, but these are the oldest cultures, and of course one of the other ones, which is the Greek or Egyptian culture, happened in some other land. And all 3 different cultures talk just one single language, whether it be your beauty, health, vitality, strength, whatever you call it. Everything lies on the concept of balance. If you're balanced physically, mentally, emotionally, everything automatically starts to fall in place. So that's the ideology behind Svarasya. Also, we as a skincare and self-care brand, we just don't want to focus on the products that we are doing, but a lot of focus on a lot of information sharing, a lot of awareness, educating people how your foods make you, how your lifestyles make you, how your daily choices make you, how the rituals that you follow on a daily basis, how do they create you on a regular basis. And it's a continued process. I would say it's not a one product miracle. It's never a one product miracle. And I'm sure a lot of us have already experienced using a lot of products and still searching for the solutions, because as I say, one product miracles is a myth, it does not work. So let's just talk about, okay, so before I move ahead, I have a giveaway for you all. This is our flagship Shatadhata Ghrita Ghee Cream, I guess. So Ira is also using the same one. This is a 5,000-year-old Ayurvedic formulation coming from old Ayurveda tradition. So the formulation for this is mentioned in Charak Samhita. And when we started doing it, it was really a challenge, because making this product is not easy. And one of the another awareness that I would want to create specifically about this product is, when we started researching it, and we were trying to figure out what were the ancient remedies and what ancient women used to do, somehow we came across this product. And when we got deeper into the research, we figured out that I guess a very small part of India manufactures this, and 95% of Shata Dhota Grita is exported to UK or US. There is huge market for this product outside, but in India, being Indians, being that Indian heritage, we are not aware of this formulation. And that's where we took up this challenge to kind of, come up with this product and make it. So by the end of the session, I will have some questions for you, and we will be announcing 2 giveaways for the best answers. Okay, so how are we supposed to start the session? When you listen to the session, just be very open-minded and very flexible and broad about your thought process, because what I shared
sorry
today
guys, I just want to say something. But guys, the giveaways are valid to those who keep their cameras on. That's the giveaway. That's the giveaway that we always say, even during yogathon. Keep your cameras on so you can be more engaged. You can be more focused, and you can feel a collective sense of energy. So if you want to win the giveaway, please turn your cameras on. Aditya is taking a look at everything. Deepti, please announce what the prize is going to be. There are 2 giveaways, so a very good chance that you may win one, because you're restricting this session to our members. So please, guys, turn your cameras on if you want to be eligible for winning these products.
So one of the giveaway is going to be our Kumkumadi Kesra. This is again a very old ancient product, again mentioned in Ayurveda. It's a face serum, oil-based, but has a very velvety feel and a very natural appeal. Specifically for the yogis, this is one product which is my favorite. Coming back to our session, so I'll be talking of when we started creating Svarasya, the idea was to create something that talks of the philosophy and not just the products. That's where the lineage that I come from, I could clearly see the short-term approach that we generally carry from the skincare perspective in our modern society today, and what is it that actually creates you from within. We figured out 5 pillars, but I'll talk of them later. Let me just talk of some common skin problems that we all go through on a daily basis. It could be dry skin, acne, aging skin, sagging skin, wrinkles, hair fall, and number of skin problems. And the only solution that we know is, if it is a severe problem, we end up going to a doctor, or if it is a skincare problem which can be handled without any medical intervention, we prefer going to a salon or a derma clinic to the maximum. And do we ever find a solution? I mean, of course, temporarily, I believe yes, but in the long run, we see the skin keeps aging and aging and aging, and there's no end to it. From the internal perspective, the 5 pillars that we figured out, which actually enhance you from the inside, and the ones which also spoil your beauty from the inside, the internal factors, the primary factor is your hormones. As your hormones start to, kind of go up and down because of our dietary factors, because of our lifestyle factors. Hormones is the communication between your body and your mind. So when I say body, it's also the communication between your skin, your gut health, your mind, everything working all together. If that communication channel is disrupted, which is the hormonal channel, you do whatever, you apply anything, you will not get the results. And of course, temporarily, you will keep seeing results basis what treatments do you go ahead with. But here I'm not talking of the treatments, I'm talking of the healing at the root level. So you start creating that skin from the inside. So some of the things that actually spoil your beauty from inside: your hormones, your gut health, your daily choices, whether or not you're following any rituals, so these are some of the common factors which will make huge difference, specifically acidic body state and internal inflammation. So this is a very root level concept of inflammation. This is the same concept that causes arthritis or maybe heart disease or a cancer. Aggravated condition of inflammation may lead you there, but initially when these conditions start to happen inside the body, which is inflammation, at a very subtle level, the body will start giving you a knocking. It will start telling you something is wrong, and that knocking might show up in the form of some short-term condition, something like a sinus or a cold or a flu or skin erupting out, acne, pigmentation, all these issues. Now, if we keep doing solutions which are very superficial, just on the skin, everything is being created from the inside. Unless those hormones are taken care of, unless your gut health is taken care of, unless your body becomes alkaline in nature, it's not going to give you the results that you may be actually seeking. So based on the skin problems that I mentioned and the internal parameters which give you skin problems, along with the ancient philosophies that I studied over time, we came up with these 5 pillars. That is everything about skin from the inside out. So the very first pillar that I would want to talk about is It's the very first, of course, is nourishment. That's very close to my heart, and I guess that there is no compromise on that. The modern ways of looking at food these days, we are into too much of a calorie counting and counting our proteins, counting our carbohydrates, and then kind of getting into that fixated mindset, inflexible mindset, just trying to fill in the body with whatever a diet plan tells us. So whether it be your weight. So when I talk of beauty, again, I would want to highlight it's more from a broader sense that I'm talking about. I'm talking of beauty, I'm talking of weight, I'm talking of energy, I'm talking of vitality, everything when I talk of these 5 pillars, because everything is holistic. You take control of these 5 pillars and automatically you see everything starts to transform from the inside out. And skincare, I would say, is just 20% or hardly 15% of the element of everything that we discussed today. Coming back to the foods, talking of foods from the modern perspective, I'm sure a lot of us have done diet plans and still maybe doing it, trying to fight with our weight or trying to improve upon our skin and, kind of bringing about that energy level back, that vitality, that radiance back, but it doesn't happen ever. Why? Because again, at the foundation level, from the diet perspective also, there are a few parameters which are working deep inside you to create you. What are those parameters? At the top is your gut health. So now the gut health may show up in various, because our the digestive tract starts from the mouth and ends at the colon. So any problem in this entire tract, starting from your mouth till your esophagus, to your stomach, to your large intestine, to your colon, wherever your body is clogged from inside, specific manifestations of toxin accumulation will start happening there, and these specific accumulations have specific manifestations on your skin. I'll talk of that later when I proceed through the program, like how these problems do manifest on your skin. But broadly talking of the foods, the very first thing that you need to check, even before you go ahead with even a calorie counted plan or a counted protein plan, you need to check your gut health. That is the nutrient processing unit. The nutrients which will be taken out of your foods will be passed on to your cells only if your digestive power has extracted those nutrients, mixed it into your blood, passed into your cells, and your skin is nothing but a cluster of cells. So gut health is the primary, I would say, the very first thing that we should be focusing on. Secondly, most important, your alkaline state of the body. Now, this is a very Western concept, which has started trending in India, but since I'm educated into it, I think I can talk a little deeply about it, because this is where my entire practice is based on. I completely believe in going alkaline. So when I say alkaline, it is not just about diet. So in a very layman language, if I have to explain what alkalinity is, it's pushing out the toxicity from your body out. Any kind of toxicity. It could be in the solid form, it could be in the liquid form, or it could be in the gaseous form. So these 3 different residues happen inside the body. Maybe due to the kind of foods we are eating, maybe due to the kind of lifestyle we are living, or the kind of drinks we are having, or just with the shallow breathing also. If air is not sufficient inside the body, that everything will start showing on your skin. So alkaline state of the body, what the basic concept it says is, push out the toxicity out of the body, which in acid alkaline language, they call it pH level, or they call it acid. They call it acid. What we feel as acid inside the body is generally our gastric troubles. Anybody having very high level of acidity will start to feel a lot of gastric issues happening. This is one form of acidity, but I would say about 98% of the people today living modern kinds of lifestyles are acidic, even if you do not have any kind of digestive acidic issues. What acidity does is when the metabolism happens, your cells also leave over a lot of toxicity. When you eat foods which are not clean in nature, which are refined foods, processed foods, or outside junk food, whatever, a lot of preservatives, chemicals, a lot of hormones are entering your body. And initially we talked about how hormones create your skin, which is I would say the bottom line of creating a new skin within yourself. So these play around with your hormones because they block the channels. Your body has to be very, very free flowing, very clean from inside. Just to kind of focus on this concept a little deeper, just kind of try to visualize a newborn baby. Did you ever see a newborn baby entering the world with face full of acne, a face full of wrinkles, or a lot of redness or rashes on the face? Never. I mean, hardly we come across such babies. Why? Because a baby, or I would say rather a human body, when enters into the world, comes along with a lot of vitality, a lot of energy, and a very clean system from inside. The digestion is clean, the entire nerve system is clean, the entire circulation system is clean, the entire body is very clean from inside. As we grow older, as our hormones start to develop, as the lifestyle choices that we make start to happen over time, gradually we see our health starts to deteriorate, but we never correlate that link with it could also be one of the reasons behind our skin problems as well. So alkalinity, maintaining pH level is I would say that's at the bottom line. Again, from the solution perspective to creating a very good skin, you start with and it's not going to happen in a day. I mean, you have to be gradually working towards pushing out the toxins, putting in the good stuff. When I talk of alkalinity, I would want to share one recipe with you, which is again Svarasya's staple smoothie, I would say green smoothie, which is super alkaline, very cleansing in nature, high vibrational energy. So that is what you need to bring about not just physical beauty from the inside, but also that emotional and spiritual beauty, you know, reflecting from inside out, which is something like the concept of magnetism. You get attracted to somebody even if they do not have a very good feature appearance. So that's kind of inner, but I'll talk of that later. So talking of the foods, what kind of foods can make a difference to you? Include as much greens as possible in your diet. That's I would say on the alkalinity scale, they lie on at the highest level. When I say green vegetables, more towards the green leafy vegetables, coming over to the vegetables which grow on you know, upwards, which something like okra or something like a pumpkin, which is more of a ground level vegetable, but anything which is growing upwards towards the earth and capturing the energy of the sun, pulling in all that energy through the process of photosynthesis and processing the best nutrition, which is, I would say, which is the electric charge for our body. So that's going to make huge difference if you start bringing those changes. Smoothie recipe, if you want, you can write it down, or it is also available on our website. You can just check our website and find out the link there. But at a very bare minimum level, just try to start your day with a platter of green leaves. It could be any kind of seasonal green leaves, washed really nicely, because we don't know what preservatives it may be having. If you believe that it could be, you know, you're not sure of the purity of the greens, you can blanch it also a little and then consume it. Have one apple or a pear and one lemon. So these three things have all the power to start cleansing you from inside and start making your body alkaline. This is also very important from two aspects. One, because the smoothie is of course giving you a lot of alkalinity, but from the perspective of also stopping the intake of acidic foods that may be going inside your body on a regular basis, on a daily basis. Something like a milk tea, or something like a bread toast, or whatever, you know, processed food choices you start to make in your diet. Just one transition and see how things start to change for you, gradually to your skin, but initially to your bloating levels, to your mood levels, to your energy, vitality, feeling light. All those changes gradually will start to happen. Third thing that I would want to talk about, which makes a lot of difference, is a detox state of the body, a cleansed state of the body. And I guess Ira would agree with me on that, but from a different perspective, from a yogic perspective, because the whole idea of cleansing. So you know what, I come across a lot of clients who come and say, we want to go ahead with a 2-day detox, or a 3-day detox, or a 7-day detox. Over time, in my education for last 8 or 9 years, I realized that detox it's not a 1-day or 2-day detox. That concept is just not meant for your body. What we need to understand is we need to live a detox lifestyle than doing the detox cleanse, or a 2-day detox, or a 3-day detox. Of course, I'm not saying it's not going to work. It will definitely work, but on a constant basis, the cleanse that start to happen inside the body, it's not a 2-day process. So you've accumulated all those toxins, you've uphealed all those hormones for years, for 10 years or 15 years. You're accumulating all that. You're doing a lot of stuff that's not meant for your body for last, say, 15 years or 20 years, or whatever age you are. And then we believe that 2-day detox will completely cleanse us and bring back to our balance. It's just not possible, because body manifests itself in a very slow manner. And how nature indicates that a baby comes into the world after 9 months. It's not an immediate process, you know. It's not going to happen in a day. So it's a gradual process. You start with it, you will, you know, there would be some ups and downs gradually, but you'll see that the entire road starts to become smoother if you start to adopt this kind of a lifestyle, from the foods and other perspectives that I talk of in the session today. So this is broadly about foods. Just to summarize this thing, I guess we need to really start to think in a very broad manner, get over the idea of calories, proteins, carbs, just get over it, because counting is something that our body was not ever made for. You look at our ancestors, they never spent their lifetime just counting what am I eating, maintaining a diary, and then putting things at a perfect time and doing that. It's more about transition beautifully in a way that your body transforms and gets strengthened, and then you are able to, in a balanced way, start accepting everything that happens with an alkaline state of the body to begin with, alongside also focusing a lot on living a detox kind of a lifestyle. I would again repeat, detox lifestyle and not a detox program. Of course, you can adopt and go ahead with the detox programs, but once you start getting into that lifestyle, stick to it. I mean, be at it, say about 70% or 80%, and then see within a month or 2 months or 3 months, and gradually 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, how not just your body, but your thoughts, emotions, your spiritual energy start to change. You start to feel so positive and lively. So that was our first pillar, which was about nourishment. Secondly, the second pillar that I want to talk about is body work. Now, of course, it's very obvious when I say body work. I might be sounding like exercise. Yes, I am, but this is a very broad concept. It's not just about exercise that I want to talk about here. Exercise is one of the components. What form of exercise you choose is your choice. If you look from one perspective, the way yoga is happening these days, it's more of a exercise pattern that they're working on. The underlying concepts are not taken care of. So I guess again, I would want to talk of Ira and their team. They're doing a very wonderful job creating that awareness that exercise is not about moving your hands and moving your legs and getting into those beautiful postures and kind of being into that. It's more about aligning with yourself. When you get into those postures from a space of consciousness, from a space of focusing on aligning your breath with whatever postures are you doing, and kind of expanding into your practice to a level where even if it is paining, it's a very beautiful pain that's happening to you. It's not something that's you give up because that pain happened yesterday, that muscular pain happened to me yesterday, I'm not going to practice for another 10 days or 15 days. I would say that's more of an exercising concept, but I don't want to talk of the exercising concept here. I want to focus on the body work here. Body work includes any kind of exercise. My personal choice any day and every day is going to be yoga. I personally do not believe in gymming, for the simple reason, oxygenation for the body is very important, specifically if we talk of the skin health. In a closed environment, in a gym, it's a very stale air, kind of moving on inside, hundreds of people there, and it's, of course, you're working on your muscles, that there's a specific target that you're working on, it's giving you some results. But if you're looking for that mind body connect, I don't believe in gymming that ways. It's always a better idea to go out in nature, maybe go out for a jog or a brisk walk, or also getting into these deeper practices, ancient practices which align you with you. And if I talk of these ancient practices from 3 oldest ancient cultures of the world, every ancient culture has over time developed its own practice, which the whole idea was to create movement inside the body and flow from the perspective of also aligning your breath, and where you start to align this entire mind body thing with yourself. If I talk of yoga, of course, we know yoga is one of the best practices, and in India, I guess we are very lucky that this practice originated in India. But if we talk of traditional Chinese medicine, which is again a very Japanese way of looking at your body and developing those healing practices. So traditional Chinese medicine is something like Ayurveda of Japan and China, if in a very layman language, if I have to talk about it. Their ancient practices, which are about body work, which are about movement, which are about also exercise, which is just one of the component, but more about creating a pranic flow inside your body. Practices such as Tai Chi, practices such as Qigong, practices, these martial art practices, these are these ancient practices similar to what India gave to us as yoga. Eastern philosophy created their own forms of these, which is more about energy balancing. So yoga is more about, it's more about, working towards your physical body first and gradually removing those layers and moving up those layers, which are the koshas in the yogic language. Physical kosha, you get strengthened at the physical level, gradually move on to a different layer, which is your mental, emotional level, and then to the level of bliss. So that's altogether a different philosophy. But why I want to focus on this part is, generally when we think of exercise, the only things that come to our mind is either gymming or maybe jogging. Of course, a lot of people are getting outdoors. Running, of course, it's again a very good form if as long as it is being done in a green outside environment. But one thing that all these activities lack is your focus, alignment of your breath with your body, which I guess yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, and these martial art practices, these are the ancient practices that align you. How these create beauty, you will get to know later when I get on to our fifth pillar. But just to broadly talk about it, when you do a lot of gymming exercises or exercises which create a lot of stress inside your body, you may not be feeling that stress at a physical level, but you might just feel that tiredness or that constriction inside the body. How it is manifesting or affecting your beauty from the scientific perspective also, when you put a lot of pressure on your body, there's something called free radicals which get released inside your body. That generally happens if your breath is improper. I mean, that's one of the reasons, but other reasons are stress and wrong kind of foods which create pressure from the inside. So any kind of constriction or pressure that happens either through exercise or through wrong foods or through stress or through negative kind of thinking, or through a work profile where you know you choose to kind of just be in your work and live a very imbalanced kind of a life, all those stressors pile up and they put your system into something called an adrenaline rush, which from where a hormone which is called cortisol releases. Now this cortisol, of course, it's very important for us. It kind of gives us that push and activity to get out and do things on a daily basis. But when your body is constantly high on cortisol because of different factors through diet, lifestyle, and various other things that we just talked about, constantly your digestion will be off. So I'm trying to explain it in a very layman language. Your digestion will be off. So even if you're consuming the bestest foods on earth, designing your meal plans from the bestest of nutritionists, and if you are under a state of stress, putting off your digestion and kind of shifting the focus of your circulation from digestion to creating more energy, gradually those nutrients do not have a channel to reach to your cells, and ultimately beauty is what reaches your cells. So it's very important to, of course, stress I talk of later, but from the exercising perspective, it is very important to adopt those practices which help you also control your breath or bring it down to a level of peace and calm, and also work on your body in a way that balance of breath, balance of sympathetic nervous system, we call it sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, so that balance between these two systems is maintained. That is the highest state of beauty that I would say that you can create from inside, because that's where your digestion will be optimal, that's where your nutrients will reach the cells, that's where you will produce energy, and that's where your skin will be reformed and renewed. So from the bodywork perspective, few other things that we should be really focusing on. This is coming from Ayurveda. So Ayurveda, of course, these are sister sciences, yoga and Ayurveda. But Ayurveda specifically focuses on some cleanse practices, some daily rituals, dincharya, which is how you should be leading your day as per the sun cycle. Our body works as per the sun cycle. So some practices like early morning abhyanga, one of the best practices that you can do for your skin, specifically for the people who have a very dry skin condition. A lot of troubled skin in terms of sensitive skin, who are kind of struggling with their skin from the pigmentation perspective. Now that's a personal experience I would want to share. When I started, kind of doing all these things and got into this, and specifically getting into this massage thing every day, because it seemed to be a hassle to me, until few years or months back. What I realized was when you apply, when you do abhyanga or pure oil massage on your body before bath every single day, that our body is to a certain extent porous. So that dryness which is also happening internally, which is happening for hundreds of reasons, the kind of foods that we are consuming, again, a lot of toxicity which is lying, kind of creating a bed inside the body, or through dry respiratory tract, whatever, our bodies may be holding a lot of dryness. So some part of it you of course compensate it with consuming a lot of foods which are good oil rich, and you can also nourish your body from the outside, which will have an internal impact, is through applying oil on your skin on a daily basis. See how your skin, not just at the body level but at the face level, even if you're not applying oil on the face, that transformation starts to happen everywhere. You start to see those changes happening at a very holistic level everywhere. And you start to feel really eased out, and flexible body, flexible movement, that flow that I'm talking of, prana, that realization of which happens quite later, but then you start to feel a lot of good changes happening inside your body. So these practices, something like daily oil massage, one of the ancient practices which I came across in traditional Chinese medicine, which is more of for the very first time, what I could make out was it's a practice coming from traditional Chinese medicine. But over time, when I started studying Ayurveda, I came to know it is an age-old ancient practice, which also coincides with the idea of traditional Chinese medicine practice. So this practice is called dry skin brushing. This is one practice that will give you the, I mean, this practice can completely transform your skin. It works on a very simple philosophy. Our skin is shedding dead skin all the time. Every day, every minute, every hour, then hundreds and thousands and, you know, multiple dead cells coming and coating our skin on a daily basis. So what the bathing practice generally that we have on a regular basis is, you know, we'll spend say 5 minutes or 10 minutes in the bathroom, maybe applying some soap on the body, and then we are done, and, you know, we feel everything is clean. Now, when you do a lot of soapy stuff on your skin, and if your body already has a lot of dead skin cells layered on your skin, that soap will rip your skin off that pH layer. The concept of alkalinity applies to your skin as well. It's an inside out concept. As much as it's applicable inside, that much also it is applicable outside. So that pH level or the alkaline balance of the skin gets disturbed when we use these acidic kind of things. Soap, of course, then your bathing gels, bathing shower gels or whatever. So these will create a layer of furthermore dry your skin, rip off your skin off that balance. As that layer rips off, your skin becomes much more prone and probable of attracting a lot of microbes and giving it an inlet towards your skin from the internal perspective. So if I have to kind of pick up one remedy or one practice that can make huge lot of difference, even if you're not using any kind of skincare product, invest in a good dry skin brush. If you do not understand what to buy and you want to immediately begin with it, you can also use a very rough towel. You can just take a very coarse towel, which seems a little hard on your skin. You need not wet it on a dry body before your bath. Just spend 5 minutes doing this dry skin brushing. In Ayurveda, I am not able to recall that term, what they call it, some Krishna something, but I guess I'm forgetting the name here. But just do dry skin brushing starting from your feet. Do it upwards towards your heart, because what is this trying to do is it's trying to push the circulation from your feet, which is generally I would say the aging phenomena. The gravity phenomena is an aging phenomena. Anti-aging phenomena is anti-gravity. That's where the yogic practices also come in, by the way, which is like inversion poses, where your head goes up and your head goes down and your legs go up, which creates that anti-gravity effect. Anti-aging is, from a very root perspective, it's an anti-gravity concept. It's gravity will always pull you down. Your emotions, downwards emotions will pull you down. So the idea of this dry skin brushing is, take the brush, take either a brush or a coarse towel or even a loofah to start with, but best is either with a brush or a towel. Start from your feet, coming over in a circular motion, just moving that towel or a brush upwards towards your heart. And you're not supposed to do it on your face, but of course from your neck till your heart, and then from your lower body till your heart. Now what this will do is, this will immediately activate your circulation and will kind of give that push to the heart to pass on that circulation to each and every cell of the body. You do it for 5 minutes. If you do it nicely, researchers have proven that this activity is as good as half an hour of jogging. It's that powerful. And the kind of skin it can give you, I can guarantee you, if you do it for 30 days and see how the entire your skin health starts to transform completely from inside out. So this is again, you know, a lot of ancient recipes, remedies coming from these ancient cultures, where you need not bank on these products and your never-ending search for these products. I mean, these therapies are powerful enough to just transform you from inside, not just from the skin perspective, but from the health perspective also. What this is also going to do is, it's going to give you a strong push to your lymphatic system. A lot of skin problems, acne, blemishes, specifically the spotty kind of skin issues, any kind of, you know, scars on the body or your face, or such kind of issues happen because we have a very stagnant lymphatic system. A lymphatic system is something which is also, you can call it another immune system of the body. But if our lymph nodes are holding on to a lot of toxins, the circulation is impacted. Lymph nodes ultimately holding a lot of toxicity. That toxicity has to come out from somewhere. If your channels are blocked, if you're constipated, if you're not doing exercises, you're sitting in an AC environment all through the day, those channels are blocked. Your skin needs to sweat out to push out those toxins. You have to have a very good bowel health to push out those toxins outside. Now, but having said these two channels, of course, are important. We know that, but it came as a strong surprise to me when I was studying TCM about. So the elimination channels that you're talking of, which push out the toxicity and give us a very good skin, is of course through our is sweating is one of the activities, and of course passing out solids and liquids out of the body is another practice. But you would be quite surprised to know it's just 25% of your toxins coming out through your skin and through your bowels. 75% toxin elimination channel is your breath. So that kind of answers why there has to be a lot of focus, which you'll come to know once I talk of our third pillar. But breath work, if you can work hard on improving upon your breath activities in a way that you are fully oxygenated, you don't need any skincare product, you don't need any so the entire health falls in place automatically, because 75% of your toxicity in the body is carbon dioxide. And I guess this is the most that we accumulate inside the body, living in a sedentary way. Even if we are exercising, of course carbon dioxide is getting out if we are exercising, but if we are more into a gymming way of life, the free radicals are side by side being produced, because the breath is not aligned with your body, and a lot of oxidative stress is happening because sympathetic nervous system is getting activated, and we really need to working on the balancing system, which is the parasympathetic nervous system, which aligns your breath with your body and then creates that breath from the inside. And that's why I guess I have a strong focus on why yoga, because it's a complete science of beauty also, if I have to put it across like that, along of course with Ayurveda, which kind of joins it with its own practices, rituals, dincharya practices on a daily basis. Kind of, so these are some of the two strongest practices that I believe in. Some of the other ones, which are from the cleanse perspective, I would say are neti, jal neti. Now this is again for the nasal cavity, but this can eliminate your face, skin and the facial appearance like anything, because one, of course, it is bringing out all the toxins, but secondly, what it is doing is we have those facial nerves and muscles, which are, so as the water goes in and comes out of our nasal cavity, there are a lot of associated nerves which are kind of joined together in this specific cavity. When the water passes out, it stimulates all the associated nerves and muscles which are kind of surrounded in all this area. So Jal Neti is meant to work on you holistically from an ENT perspective, and not just on your nasal thing. And if you gradually kind of make it a practice again, doing it once a day, but there's a specific way of doing it. Maybe I guess Ira is the best person to guide how to do it, because there are some do's and don'ts and how to do it, how to start it and how to end it. There are specific rules around that. But if you understand and learn how to do it and gradually make it a part of your lifestyle on a regular basis, you see how the radiance on your face starts to get better. The acne or the wrinkles, or you will start to feel a lot of clarity happening on your skin just doing Jal Neti. Another session that, another practice rather, I would say that makes it, again, one of my favorite practices is Nasyam, which is nasal oiling. Again, this is something that I am still not very close to, because it's a part of my studies as of now, but again, a recent discovery, I would say. But this can kind of, so, our skin is, of course, skin is cells, but skin cells or the entire body cells is also a lot of fat, a lot of oily texture on the skin. So this, from the external perspective, what this practice of the Nasyam, which is about, putting two drops of oil, I guess it's almond oil and pure ghee. So whatever purity level of products you have, either of two, you can use, and just put 2 drops in your nasal cavity. Very, very good for sinus. If it's not a mucus filled sinus, of course, if you have a dry nose at that point in time. And then, so when you add this, what this will do is, once you do Jal Neti, of course, it will pull out a lot of toxins. But when you add those 2 drops of oil in the nose, the dryness that gets created because the water has gone in will be lubricated by the Nasyam activity. So this is a complete cycle from the outside to kind of first flush out your nose and also flush out and activate and stimulate the facial nerves and muscles, and after that lubricate it. So that lubricate will create that fine balance of oil and that plumpy look on the skin. So these are some of my favorite Ayurveda practices which I could study as of now and kind of create some awareness. As I go ahead, of course, you know, I'll start adding a lot of other stuff to it as well. Coming on to our third pillar, emotional health. I believe strongly, over years I've started believing how emotional health spoils your beauty, I would say rather. Of course, a lot of all the ancient traditions rather, Ayurveda talks of it, yogic practices talk of it, and they have their own philosophies, and now science also talks about it. They've kind of justified how emotional health spoils your entire beauty. But out of, you know, all these practices that I studied and came across over years, one of the best logic that I came across how emotional health spoils your beauty was from the traditional Chinese medicine. From the traditional Chinese medicine perspective. So in traditional Chinese medicine, how it goes is organ health, emotion, and skin health. These are three related terms. So I'll try giving you an example on that. Just one example, but there are, you know, multiple associations on the similar lines. Liver. Okay, liver is a toxin processing organ, and this is responsible for processing all the toxicity which our body is either creating inside, or whatever we are taking through foods, or whatever we are applying on your skin, or whatever we are inhaling through our nose, whatever. So through our senses, whatever is going in will be processed by our liver. And if the liver is clogged, okay, in most of the cases today, the liver is clogged. I would really want to create that awareness also, because the kind of food choices that we have, the liver is mostly clogged, or it's not at its optimal level. This will ultimately, so if I talk of the emotion correlation with liver, emotion of anger is a direct manifestation of a clogged liver. So that's something that I came across in traditional Chinese medicine, how organs are so closely related to your organ functioning. If you are sad, by any chance, if you're feeling very sad for no reason, just try breathing deep. That will immediately, you know, start bringing settling you down. Why? Because the emotion of sadness has a direct impact, or is directly related with your lungs. That's the manifestation of your organs in its emotional state. Feeling of fear. So just to give you an example, if you scold a small child, okay, and in a lot of cases we often come across that concept that a baby passes out in the pants if you scold them. Like the school teachers may also, you know, complain that to a lot of parents. Emotion of fear has a direct correlation with your kidneys. As your body gets into that constriction, that emotion of fear, that tightness, immediately your kidneys contract. When the kidneys contract, the urine holding place gets narrower, and you know, you pass out. So the fear will always impact your kidneys. Anger will always impact your liver, and it goes vice versa also. If your liver by chance is congested, by nature you're not a very angry person, but due to your choices, or if you're more on alcohol or more on toxin kind of foods which create a lot of toxin inside the body, ultimately your liver will be clogged. Over time, gradually you will become an irritable person, you will become an angry person, because these two are closely related. The moment liver starts to clog, emotion of anger will start to rise. If you are by nature an angry person, if you're eating very, very well, gradually your liver will start to get congested. It's a two-way communication, and it happens with all five major emotions of the negative emotions that we go through: fear, anger, then sadness, feeling unloved. So feeling of that feeling of unloved feeling relates directly to your heart, and that's the reason generally the feeling of love is always associated with the heart. It's not a coincidence. In ancient sciences, if you study Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine, rather traditional Chinese medicine more deeply, you come to know how the feeling of joy and love is a direct emotion of your heart. It kind of manifests and shows out of you through your heart. So how it impacts your skin is organ functioning clogged, emotion getting on a high. As emotion gets high, I don't know if you've ever come across this concept of your face holding a lot of emotional folds. It's called emotional folds, which is like when you strain a lot, or if your liver is clogged and you're an angry person, you start to see some vertical lines automatically coming over here. So we consider it as an aging sign. Of course, it's an aging sign, but that aging is happening because that organ functioning is going low. That's that organ is being clogged. It's not able to process whatever it has to in the right way. Ultimately, it's manifesting at the subtle level. That physical is becoming subtle in the form of anger, specifically in the case of liver, and that subtle being in your mind. You from your mind, whatever goes to your mind, your thoughts generate from there, your emotions generate from there. So emotions will directly manifest if you are into any kind of negative emotion. Ultimately, those folds will start to happen inside the body. That's called emotional folds. But apart from that, what will happen is, as soon as you get into any kind of a negative emotion, automatically your sympathetic nervous system response will get on, your stress response will go up. And we've already discussed, as your stress response goes up, the very first thing that will shut down is your digestive system. If your digestion has shut down, you have the bestest of foods, you apply the bestest of skincare products, you will never be able to reverse what's going wrong inside. So the root of it is it's much deeper than we understand. It's not just about one product miracle. It's about getting deeper into, starting from your foods to your body work, getting still more deeper, looking into your emotions and seeing and managing, trying to understand what is it that's creating you. One of the best practices that I came across when I got deeper into the emotional health for beauty is, of course, we may not be having direct control on our emotions, but a practice that you can of course follow to control your emotions is start doing one thing or one activity in a day that takes you out of your daily regime or a routine, which makes you really happy on a daily basis. It could be anything, and that must be a creative activity, something like a drawing or a painting or journaling. One of the best practices, I would say. It completely takes you out of your emotions. You can just spill over your emotions on your paper. So that's one of the best practices, and immediately will induce your parasympathetic response, the stress-free response. As the stress-free response sets in, the digestion will become normal. Your nutrients and oxygen will start reaching your blood. Blood will make it reach to your cells, and ultimately it will show on your skin. So that's the chain which is happening when we talk of skincare. Fourth pillar is it's about consciousness, I would say. This is more of a yogic concept. It's more or less similar to emotional health, more focusing on knowing yourself. Like, for example, I'll give you an idea. I mean, I'll take my own example. I come from an IT background. I've worked in IT for about 11 years. Before 9 years back, I started studying all this, and then I transitioned into this field. And I was at my peak of my career when I stopped. When I left my job, it was very tough for me to take that decision. But somehow I was getting very inclined towards these holistic sciences, and gradually I took a decision to kind of pursue my education into this. Being at the peak of my career, having the power that I had, and the kind of package that I had, and when I resigned, I was at peace. I mean, not for a second or a minute. Till date, I could feel that, okay, I was at a level where the funds were so nicely flowing in, and I had the bestest of whatever I could. So that was a choice that I made when I started listening to myself. My body, my mind, my entire self, my whole told me, holistic sciences is something that you really want to do. You do it. Let's see how it goes. And on that thought, I kind of left my job, took that risk. Have been working on it for 9 years now, and I guess of course it's going ahead from this point on also. But it took me those much years to kind of create that kind of a setup, create Svarasya, and then start passing on all that knowledge and awareness to you all, and of course with others. But the whole idea was, when you start to listen to yourself on a daily basis, something like your body tells you, okay, when your diet plan says, okay, you're supposed to have your lunch at 2 p.m. and then like a robot, you start having it at 2 p.m. without realizing. How do you feel? Do you feel full, or do you feel empty, or do you feel like having something cold, or do you feel having something like a hot thing? You're not listening to yourself. You're just like a robot, just whatever is mentioned in a plan, you just take in, and then the disconnect starts from there. That point on, your body is telling you something else, your mind is telling you something else. That disconnect will create a disconnect of consciousness. When you're disconnected with your consciousness, your sympathetic response will go up, which will stop down the digestion. Ultimately, the entire cycle starts back again. So when I talk of consciousness, again, I guess the best way to be more conscious or get into that path of consciousness, nothing like meditation. I guess that's again one of the gifts from Indian heritage to the entire world. Meditation can completely transform your entire functioning and response from inside. It all boils down to biologically how your organs are functioning from inside, how better your gut health is, how alkaline your body is, and this all will, irrespective of whatever foods are you eating, this will only happen when your sympathetic nervous system response is balanced. If you're doing everything, still you're stressed, it's not going to work, because the body doesn't work like that. It's the body has to be in a state of rest and digest rather than being into a state of fight and flight, which is the sympathetic response. So consciousness meditation, I guess this best way to get into that phase is through meditation. Start practicing say for about 10 minutes or something, but I believe Ira is doing a lot of sessions around meditation also. That can also be a good start there. The last pillar that I want to talk about is energy. I guess that's at the top of everything. Whatever I have discussed till now is, the whole idea was to create that kind of energy, that kind of vitality from the inside, and making choices on a regular basis, on a daily basis, which increase your vibrational energy, which makes you feel good. So when I talk of energy, it's, so kind of to kind of sum it all, when I talk of Svarasya philosophy, skincare, of course, products is one of the things that we are doing, but our entire philosophy is based on the idea of energy at the peak level, if I talk of it, which is achieved through high vibrational foods. When I say high vibrational foods, it's the same category as the alkaline foods. I mean, in Western language, you can call it alkaline foods. In the ancient language, you call it high vibrational or high pranic energy foods. Then your body work, how you align your breath with your body work, so that free flow of prana starts to happen inside the body, which will create you out of you, which will give you your best potential of whatever you are, internally, whatever the possibility for you to achieve is, you will start reaching that stage. If we kind of sum it all into these 5 pillars and start working on it at a holistic perspective, not just looking at one product miracle or one therapy or a 2-day detox or stuff like that. So I guess broadly, this is what I wanted to share. I mean, this is how the entire skin science goes when we talk of inside out, or we talk of pranic energy or pranic beauty, you call it whatever, but that's how the entire science goes. And it's very, very much in sync with what science is proving now. Your gut health, the researchers have started proving now how you talk of eczema, the severe skin conditions, which is psoriasis or the severe ones which were not ever heard of in the ancient times. Our grandparents or the older generations did not ever have these problems. They started to happen when our life started to transform. A lot of changes started to happen. So I guess I'll sum it all here. And the question that I would have for all of you is, if you could answer me what are the 5 pillars that I talked about, and I guess we can pick up the winner from there, whosoever answers me the 5 pillars. And also, of course, who had been in the session with their videos on, of course, that's a criteria. So in the meantime, let me just see if I can take up some questions. Okay, so somebody says, I have been told by the Ayurvedic doctors not to combine fruits with vegetables. Okay, this is partially true and partially, I would say, not untrue. But what I have understood in my years of practice, of course, combinations do make a difference, and they help you reach a certain stage of pranic vibration or a high vibration or your true potential, which manifests as beauty, of course. But it will highly depend upon what your constitution is, genetically what you have been blessed with, one. Secondly, over years, what has been your lifestyle? What choices have you been making on a daily basis, on a regular basis? And also, so when I say choices, I include all the 5 pillars that I'm talking of. How has been your emotional health? How has been your physical health? Have you been working on your body, not from the perspective of just losing weight, doing anything and everything to lose that weight, being, spending your life into the gym without realizing that you're short of breath and creating a lot of free radicals, and that wrinkling and aging will start to happen as soon as your breath falls apart. So some of the combinations that are can be easily combined in the fruit and vegetable categories. Green leafy vegetable category, you can combine with any fruit and vegetable. So that's the safest way of, going ahead with it. If I have to pick up the best categories of fruits to join with in this category also, apples and pears are the best ones. So it's again the same thing, the smoothie recipe that I gave you all, which is apple or a pear or a plate of green leaves, seasonal green leaves. Some of the good ones, if you really want to work on removing toxicity out of the body, work with a lot of, say, handful of coriander in your smoothies. Coriander has this very unique capability of binding with the metallic toxicity inside the body and pulling it out of the body. So, which is causing a lot of autoimmune disorders also in today's times, which is also the cause of these highly degenerative health issues, emotional issues, mental issues, hyperactivity. This is because a lot of hard metallic toxicity is kind of accumulating in our cells. So, the best fruits, I would say, fibrous fruits, which are a little less on the juiciness, can be combined well with green leafy vegetables, and lemon, of course, can be combined with everything, because it's one of the best liver boosters. So we want the toxicity to be out, but that toxicity will only be out when the liver is in its best working condition. So that hint of lemon helps give that boost to the liver. When I say lemon, you also use the rind along with it. Do not so put the entire lemon into it. Just remove the seeds. That is super, super powerful. Okay, so natural soaps. See, if you ask me personally, I am not in favor of any kind of soap at all. Ayurveda has these amazing recipes, which are Upton recipes, which are healing powders, cleaning powders, and all these. I guess these are certain things which can make huge lot of a difference to your entire skin. If you want to go ahead with soaps, I would say just stick to the ones which have a high oil content and not a lot of acidic stuff, a lot of chemicals. So you can always go back and read the labels, what all chemicals it mentions. If you see parabens there, or SLS there, or sulfates there, or even petroleum there, any kind of products having petroleum, just stay away from all those products. Okay, so okay, so I'm still waiting for the answers to
yes. Hey, Dipti, this is Ajita. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay, I would like to try those 5 strategies. Starting with the first one is start your day with the, be alkaline, then jal niti, tension free, massage, and also dropping the dead skin.
So these are the practices, but these are not the pillars that I talked about. So I talked of 5 pillars. Okay, let me make it a little easier. Let me make it a little easier in case. Let me see if people have started responding. So whatever you could grasp from these 5 pillars, which you think from the inside out perspective can actually help you create beauty from inside out, you can answer to me from that perspective also. I'll make a choice from that. So guys, I guess we need to be a little faster because we are running out of time. So
we have written the answers in the chat. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just trying to figure out the answer. So I guess the best answer till now that I received, which is the first answer from Zainab. So yes, you've kind of understood how the entire system works from the inside out. Also from the scientific perspective, manifesting everything at the outer level altogether. So I guess, yes, Zainab, I guess I would want to choose you as one of the winners. And another one, because we have 2 giveaways. So let me just choose the other one. So I guess we do not have much participants. The best answers are the top 2 participants is all that I can see. So maybe we can go ahead with the other giveaway with Soumya Agarwal and Zainab. Yeah. So thank you so much, Ira. I guess I'm done from my side. I hand it over to you if you would want to just kind of take it on from here.
I think Ira is talking on mute. Is that right?
Oh, sorry. I was saying that, Deepti, thank you so much, and congratulations, Soumya, and to Zainab for listening with such with such such concentration with your videos on, everyone. Deepti, that was a fountain of knowledge. Thank you so much. I mean, I learned so much here, and I'm definitely going to try and buy a dry brush. I have one, but I've actually not really used it. But this has inspired me to actually go back to the old ancient routine.
I guess you are in Goa right now, right?
Yeah.
So you can just look out for this coconut peel that works as an awesome dry brush.
Great. And do you suggest that? Is there a specific one that you would suggest that we can maybe order online?
I am trying
that
to.
we can,
So,
any good.
You can look out
Does
on
Svarasya
Amazon.
have any?
Any specific brand I cannot recall as of now, but what you can try is just look out for these organic bristles of the brush. So something like I mentioned about this coconut peel, and any organic fiber.
Great. That sounds great. And I think again, guys, for those of you who haven't won today, unfortunately, never mind, but do check out our website. Svarasya has, we've listed a couple of our favorite products, and all Svarasya products, I mean, I found them really wonderful. So I thought that we must invite Deepti to come and share her journey. You can see that she's definitely really passionate, and everything that she does is so authentic and from the heart. So thank you once again, Deepti, for joining us, and for really, I think we could have gone on for another hour with just listening to you talk about some of these basics. And I think it encourages all of us to go back, and also that you don't need to buy you don't need to buy expensive products to get good skin, and that's mostly just temporary anyways. So following these fundamentals can really give us beautiful glowing skin, and just good self-care and feeling good. So thank you so much, Deepti. Thank you everyone for joining, for focusing. This was such a educational session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you.